Hi Gemini, my name is Audrey Alison and this is your September 2014 forecast for the month. Welcome and thank you for tuning in and for choosing me to read for you and for liking and sharing these posts. I read all through the week, so if you're interested in readings, you can book with me and you can reach me at audreyallison.com and Facebook at Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. Let's get into the forecast. Your fifth house is lit up this month. There's a lot of fifth house activity of creativity, romance, and children, and fun, light-hearted house. The fifth house is also gambling and sports, but there's a lot going on. So on the 2nd of September, Mercury is entering this fifth house, which Libra holds for you, Gemini ascendant. So Mercury is the planet of communication going into this fifth house, which means your conversations and communications with your children are going extremely well and very balanced at this time because of Libra. Mercury with Libra also means that your creative endeavors have a perfect ebb and flow. You're giving just enough energy to what you need to get done. Mercury could also really want you to write, speak, express, study, and analyze this fifth house. It's really how it applies to each individual, but for those of you who are very creative or do perform or have a talent or a skill, Mercury's really going to be like pushing you or nudging you to express yourself in that realm. So watch for that, because it'll get you talking about what it is that you love to do as well and what you're passionate about, because the fifth house is passion. On the 5th of September, Venus enters Virgo. Virgo is a compatible sign to you, Gemini. It's a mutable sign. This is your 4th house of home. Venus beautifying the home. Venus bringing love and money to the home, or love or money. You'll want to make your surroundings very beautiful at this time. When Venus goes into the 4th house, Gemini, I think that your aesthetic is spot on, and you'll want to surround yourself with sensual fabrics, and Venus governing Taurus loves sensuality and the touch, the things that feel really good and feel maybe wealthy, feel even wealthier than you may be. It's just the image of wealth or luxury around you. So that's a beautiful place for Venus in the home. You'll have a lot of positive love contacts in the home. On the 8th, our full moon is at 16 degrees Pisces, another mutable sign for you, Gemmies, because Virgo and Pisces are your people. They're the mutable signs. Virgo, Pisces, Gemini. So this full moon is in your 10th house of career. Full moons bring an awareness and an ending or a culmination, or something hidden is now seen around the full moon in your 10th house of career or 10th house of retirement, your social status, your stature, your status. Something could come from behind the scenes in a work situation, at a career, within your career, that was a secret or revealed, not necessarily about you, but you could become privy to information around the 8th in your workforce. Perhaps there's a private affair happening with someone, and you become aware of this in the 10th house. It could be something like that. It could mean that you end your job and you want to leave and you're retiring at this time, or it could mean that you are seeing that you want to do something else for yourself in addition to this career or instead of that career. Because this is the one full moon that you get each year, Gemini, in your 10th house sector and Gemini rising. Your 10th house sector. So for those of you who would like to do something else, this is the time where you could close one chapter and start another easily with the support of the full moon. On the 13th of September, Mars, thankfully, is moving again. Remember, he was stagnant in Libra for 7 months, the first 7 months of this year, and then he quickly went into Scorpio. We were thankful to see him moving, and now he's going into Sagittarius in this 7th house of relationships for you, Gemini. Sagittarius is your polar opposite sign, and Mars is fire, and Sagittarius is fire, so this is a double fire in the 7th. This is passion, energy, ambition, drive, aggression, but it's also representative of males. Mars is men. So, for you ladies and gentlemen who are looking for men in your life, this is a great opportunity on the 13th for about 6 weeks. Mars will be in the 7th house. For those of you who are already in relationships, it's giving a lot of passion to the ones that you're in, to the committed relationship you're in or the marriage. And it's also stimulating this sector, so you'll have more energy with the loved one. You'll desire, Mars's desire, you'll desire to be around them even more, which is so sweet. And for those of you who aren't in a relationship, this could bring one in, but it could also trigger your business partnerships. So I love that. I love Mars moving into a fire sign. I find that when Mars is stationed in a fire sign, while exuding a lot of energy, you tend to sweat. On the 14th of September, we have a beautiful trine between Venus and Pluto. Venus will be in Virgo in that 4th house of home, but Pluto's been stationed in Capricorn and finally goes direct on the 22nd of September. But this is affecting your 8th house, the 4th house of home and the 8th house of sex, or the 8th house of shared resources. So the trine is a very harmonious aspect, and it's funneling in the best areas of those planets, Venus being love and money, but Pluto is that deep-seated intensity, and them together, there's something developing in your 4th house of home for the better. The beauty of the home, but also the rebirth of the home, transformation of the home. That's Pluto. He wants change, so there's renovations, changing of how it looks, the decor, the aesthetic. This could be internal or outside of the home, the yard area, but I feel there's a restructuring here for the betterment of the home, which is amazing. And then a rebirthing process when this is accomplished. On the 24th of September, we have our new moon at 1 degree Libra. This is in the 5th house again of children and creative activities and pleasure and leisure. I love it. A new moon at 1 degree Libra. Gemini, you should be celebrating because this is an uplifting period for you. And for those of you wanting to start new creative projects, absolutely, towards the end of the month, set your intentions on the 24th. For all of you singers, actors, wanting the limelight, wanting to start something creative, or for those of you more, behind the scenes talents, the writers, the editors, people who want to start their own business, entrepreneurial aspects. Think of your ideas on the new moon on the 5th to get very creative. Get as creative as possible. Take a gamble. Take a risk. 5th house of gambling. I don't want to be advocating dumping your whole savings into lottery tickets, but I don't have a problem telling people when they're aspected to be lucky. Because on the 25th, Jupiter is trining Uranus, a very good aspect between your 3rd and your 11th house. Jupiter being in Leo, it's all about the fire signs, really, in the way these planets are shifting around. It's about to form a grand fire trine. Jupiter stationed in Leo. We have Uranus in Aries, and Mars transiting up into Sagittarius. So Uranus is bringing shock and surprise and sudden electric shocks, and Jupiter is bringing luck and expansion and growth, and Mars is bringing the energy and the drive and the ambition and the desire and the will. So this combination is affecting your 3rd house of communication and your 11th house of friendships and social clubs and social activity. So you could be communicating with friends or getting in touch with the right people at the right time of the 25th. And this trine between Jupiter and Uranus is at 15 degrees, an exact trine. Right smack in the middle of 30. So this will be a nice day. Mark the 25th because you could have some surprise luck come in. You could hear from a friend that you haven't heard from in a very long time with that transit. almost impossible to not with the 11th and 3rd house. Or hear back from a club that you were waiting on membership for, or waiting to get involved in. If you were on a waiting list for some sort of social activity, you could absolutely get news or hear of that around the 25th of September. Jupiter and Uranus will just bring it right in. On the 27th, Mercury is going to quickly change signs again into Scorpio, affecting your 6th house of health and daily routine. And pets, if you have them. But Mercury, when I say affecting, it means, you know, Mercury's communication and intellect and analyzing and the study and local travel. So you could find locally that there's a gym opening up nearby, or some kind of regimen that you want to implement into your 6th house of daily routine and structure. Mercury's going to bring it in. You're going to hear news, Mercury's news and information. So something's coming across in the 6th house. You could hear back from results from lab work on that time on the 27th. On the 29th of September, Venus transits into Libra, this 5th house again. So this is, I love September. It's a smooth month, Gemini. October is, you know, a Mercury retrograde in between 2 eclipses. So let's appreciate September and appreciate the 5th house and 4th house being hit. It's a little all over the place, 5th, 4th, 10th, 7th, 8th, 3rd, 11th. I mean, I know it's everything, but the predominance here is where the sun hits. Pluto going direct, the sun goes into Libra on the 22nd, shining into this 5th house sector. I forgot to mention that earlier, I'm sorry. The 22nd, Pluto goes direct at 11 degrees Capricorn, the same day the sun transits into Libra. I'm going to pull some cards for you, okay? And I'm expecting to see some 5th house activity in these cards, but let's see what we get. Gemini for September. I'm trying to shuffle them this way for people. For some viewers who are skeptical, I've been getting emails about them not being able to see me pull the cards. When I draw the cards, it's just natural for me. It's not about, you know, trying to get one over on anybody. I'm not interested in doing that. Here's what we have for Gemini. I'll see how much I could do this. 4 of Swords, the thinker, the sage, meditation, going within, psychic ability, and someone could be thinking about you strongly at this time. I'll pull more cards to see what I get. Ten of Wands. I pulled this in the last reading too. The Phoenix rising from the ashes, rebirth. It has to do with Pluto and the trine that we're having, and also Pluto going direct in Capricorn. Lady of Coins. Beauty, sensuality, Venus. And creativity, 5th house. 5 of Wands. Fire, passion, creativity, expressing oneself through the hands. I knew I would pull this card when I was reading the 5th house energy. Because for you, Gemini, it is about the 5th house, and it's not about the 5th house for all the other signs. It just depends on where it falls. And this is also important for Gemini rising. Okay, so these cards together, I actually really feel, okay, you have the mindset to uncover all of these hidden talents. Your passionate energy, your creative abilities, your talents, and your innate skills, and the money that you earn from them, and the recognition you deserve from them, that you're being reborn through the expression of your talents, Gemini. Don't keep them hidden, and you'll probably be preempted to express them with Mercury there, or to find out what they even are, okay, with Mercury and the help of Venus. My name is Audrey Alison. I thank you for joining me. And I hope you liked your forecast for September. I will see you next month. If you need to reach me, I'm at audreyallison.com and on Facebook at Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. Let me leave you with an astrological card as well. Taurus, the sign right before you. This is your 12th house of quiet time. Now, Taurus isn't really affected in the forecast, but this Taurus is indicative of this card, going within, because that's your 12th house of spirituality and reserved energy. So don't forget to take time for yourself this month, Gemini, you social butterfly. I'll see you in October. Have a sweet day. Bye.